everyone to part two of the Guts and Glory save with Welling United. We are let's recap on last time, shall we? It wasn't an amazing first month or two at the club for us. We did manage to get rid of a few players. We released a few players who were on non-contracts. Got rid of our second highest paid player, who really was like a fourth or fifth choice centre back, to free up some wage budget. But unfortunately, struggled to find anyone willing to sign for us. So we've got a squad at the moment of 19 players, and we definitely need to add to that. But what we've got for you today are our first two matches in the Vanarama National League South. So without any further ado, let's get into it. So here we are. As I said, we've lots and lots of players on trial, but that's not the important bit. The important bit is the match coming up. Away to Truro City. It is our first match of the season. And, well, I'm nervous. I'm very nervous. I'm playing a formation I'm not used to, with a squad I'm not used to, and who are, I mean, on the face of it, the first 11 is not too bad at all. But let's go through who they are. So we've got Winterbottom in goal, a back three of Dickinson, Wood, and Bird. We've got Green and Bramble in the wing back positions. Andrew sitting in defensive midfield. Odosanya and White in central midfield. And then Abrahams and Roscoe up front. Hopefully, that team will do us well. So we'll give you squad number 23. Why not? And here we go. So we are in the beautiful city of Truro for this match, and I have no idea what to expect, if I'm honest with you. Let's try and get them to go out and impress me. The squad doesn't, like I said, the squad doesn't look too bad. It's just paper thin. Paper thin. Let's make sure we've got these settings right, because that doesn't look right at all to me. Let's zoom you right in. Right down. Key highlights, please. And that all seems about right. Okay, let's get on with it. So 5-3-2 is not a formation I use often. It's one that I've used in past FMs, and only because I got bored of four-man defenses rather, and I don't know how it's going to work out. I've seen a lot of AI teams playing five defender formations in the last couple of versions of the game. It does seem to be making something of a comeback. So let's hope it comes back with glory for us. And we are under some pressure here from Truro, and they have scored pretty early on here. 5 minutes into our first National League South match, and we are 1-0 down to Truro City. That's not quite the start we wanted, but hopefully we can come back. In fact, we're going to encourage the team to do exactly that. We've not really imposed ourselves on this match at all so far. We've had one highlight, that's it. One highlight, we're 1-0 down. There's not much more to say. Nothing great has happened as we fly through this first half, with us not really looking like we're in this match at all. Which is, this is worrying. This is concerning. We've showed nothing at all going forwards, and we've not even had a single highlight to kind of buoy ourselves up with. As Truro now with the second highlight of the game, it's out to, oh dear me. We could be in for a rough old time here. This has not worked at all so far. Goalkeeper's just let everything go through him. And, well, no one else seems to have really stepped in here. The front two have been completely anonymous. The defence are letting everything through them as well. This is... Well, I don't want to get too anxious over the first match of the season, but I'm already worried about the formation. I'm not sure it works. But we do have our first highlight as Abrahams, who's our big centre forward, taking the free kick, which I'm not too sure about. But it comes out to Odosanya, and he has a shot that just skims over the crossbar. And that's the end of that attack. So at least we have seen us going forward, which is more than we can say for the entire first half. We are facing a corner now, which is well headed away by a bird, but it comes out as far as a Truro player. Andrew stepping in to try to clear the ball as well. Truro are just holding on to the ball. With a lot of men back there, lot of men, we should be making it difficult for them to get through. And in fact, Wood there covering nicely as he plays it out to Bird. There's a bit of tippy-tappy football, but as soon as we try and pass it forward, we've lost it. I'm wondering whether wing play in a 5-3-2 is the right combo. May have made a bit of an error here. If that's the case, we will go back to the drawing board as Truro continue their attack and Green misses his interception, and they are in with a great chance for 3, but Winterbottom makes an incredible save at point blank range there. Time for some substitutions because something has to change. We're going to take off. Let's take off Bramble and Andrews, who both have had absolute stinkers out there. I think, yeah, Papadopoulos prefers a deep-lying playmaker role, which isn't one you tend to see a great deal of at this level, but let's go for it. And Roscoe has been absolutely out of it here, so we'll change things about a little bit. We'll make McAllister a target man, and Tristan Abrahams can go on to an attacking duty, and we'll hope that that helps to change things a little bit before us, but I've not. So now we've got an injury. Well, I mean, he could have got himself injured before we made all of those substitutions, couldn't he? He could have done us a favour there. Okay, we're just going to put Papadopoulos there. He can play as a central midfielder on attack duty. That makes 2 of them, actually. Yeah, we're going to go with that. Let's just go with that. What does it matter? We're going for goals. In fact, we're going to go attacking, and we're going to encourage the team. Truro now on the attack, and their striker just easily breezes past Wood, who I'm playing him at centre back, but he's 5'9", and even though I've got him on a cover duty, he's not filling me full of confidence. And another highlight starting with the Truro player. It's worrying how poor we've been. I know the team dynamics show the cohesion as abysmal, and it doesn't seem. What have I just seen? I mean, abysmal dynamics aside, I think the ball's just hit Winterbottom, who has stood rock still as it hits him, leading to the ball just deflecting to another Truro striker who just easily taps that in. And that's hit the base of the post while Winterbottom stands there lifelessly, and it kind of just falls to the floor, not really looking like he's made an attempt to save that at all. That was shocking. And again, Winterbottom just kind of limply falls to the floor, not really sticking out a hand to do anything. And, well, that's a first loss for us, although Truro have the chance to rub it in a bit more. But either way, it's not going to make our match any better at all, is it? Not in the slightest. Trying to put a foot in, but getting nowhere close, and just weak defending there. No one gets up in the air to clear that. And we'll be glad to get off the pitch. Thank you very much, referee. That was bad. Oh, well, Hemel Hempstead up next, so let's go and see how we get on against them. Where does that put us? Rock bottom of the National League South. That's exactly where you want to be after one match. Right, let's go and do the next game, shall we? And it's time for the game against Hemel Hempstead. We have managed to make one signing actually in that week that's just gone by. Quite surprising actually, though, that Brian War actually joined us. He came back to say he wanted a bit more money than he would join us. So we're paying £400 per week for him, which is right at the top end of what I'd want to pay. But we really, after the last match, needed to beef up our defence a bit. A little bit concerned by the fact he wants to be a ball-playing defender, but it seems to be his best role. So we're going to roll with it and see how he gets on. And with that, we've made just that just two changes to the side. Lewis White got injured in the last match and he's out for another 3 weeks. So Papadopoulos moves into central midfield and Cameron Andrews there in defensive midfield. Actually, I think Andrews might have been a defensive midfielder last time. It's just a straight swap with Papadopoulos. And Brian Waugh obviously comes in with Will Wood moving to the bench. So that leaves us with a goal, Winterbottom in goal, Bird Dickinson and Brian Waugh across the back three, Green and Bramble on the wings, Andrews in defensive midfield, Odosanya and Papadopoulos in midfield, and Abrahams and Roscoe up front. Now, you might be thinking I probably should be making some more changes after the poor display from the last match, but as I've said before, we don't have a great deal of squad depth here, so we're just going to have to go with what we have available. And hopefully, as these players start to gel, we'll start to see the performances turn around. But it is our first home game of the season, and let's hope that the fans can cheer us on to a big win or just a win, just anything at this point. And here we go. We are still rock bottom. We're not. Worthing have gone behind early, which gets us off the bottom, and Taunton have gone behind as well. So we're not actually bottom of the National League South. That's brilliant. But at the same time, we're not doing anything in this match worth mentioning. And in fact, the highlights are just not happening. The stats would suggest that Hemel Hempstead are the ones doing all the running at the moment. But Andrews now with a free kick in towards Bird, who heads it over the goal. It was our first look at goal. It wasn't brilliant, but it was at least a look at goal. Now Hemel Hempstead have the corner kick. We've got a lovely little setup there, and the defenders force him to head over comfortably. Good work. Long throws. So we've set up some long throws to see if they give us a bit of success. It's something you see quite a bit down in the lower leagues, and has had some football manager success. And we've made a goal out of it. It's TJ Bramble from the right wing back position. It's not directly from the long throw, but we did push their defenders away from the line, meaning the ball could go back to Green, who put in the pass to Bird, who managed to. Interesting to see a centre back doing something like that, but he does it brilliantly. And it's TJ Bramble with the header right into the top corner. The goalkeeper didn't stand a chance of reaching that. And that puts us ahead. It's our first goal this season and the first time we've been ahead in a match as well. Now we have another corner with Green swinging it in, but the keeper comes and collects it comfortably. But we are ahead in our first match in the National League South, and that's huge for us. Bit of a risky header there from Dickinson, but Andrews recovers and plays it off to Brian Waugh, who plays it forward, and that's just wasted, absolutely wasted. But a good interception from Bramble. It's also wasted by giving the ball straight away, and Green intercepts. This is some real non-league football going on here. And now Tristan Abrahams gets into the box. Is that a penalty? It looked soft, but it is. And Tristan Abrahams will step up to take his penalty. Can he score his first goal for the club? He can indeed, and we're now 2-0 up before we go in at half time, and that makes me a lot more comfortable. I mean, it was a questionable penalty, wasn't it? I don't know if it's just the animations we get for the game, but my goodness, that looked soft. But it's a confidently struck penalty straight into the side netting. The goalkeeper did not stand a chance, and it's now 2-0. We've still not made it into half time. I'm hoping this is because we're about to extend our lead rather than see it cut in half. We're playing some nice football here. Bramble now out on the right wing, lays it back to Brian Waugh, who he's had a decent start to his Welling United career so far. Andrews now playing it forward for Odosanya, who gets it out wide to Green. And we've got bodies in the box. Tristan Abrahams is there for his second goal of the match. And, that boy's starting to impress. I mean, he is by star rating, the best player at the club. And I think we're starting to see why. And in real life, I always thought he looked a handy player in his cameo appearances for Gillingham last season. Put himself about a bit. He's got a bit of pace. He looks a direct runner. strong boy, and well, he's doing the job here so far for Welling. So 3-0 at half time. That's well, it's something of a remedy to the 3-0 drubbing we got from Truro, and we jumped up the league into 12th place at the moment. Let's hope we don't throw it away from here. I'm hoping that Welling aren't a Botany kind of club, and that's a good. That was good defending initially, but the clearance was poor, and unfortunately, Hemel Hempstead have got one back. I am looking at Winterbottom. He may well be deemed one of the best players at the club, but he looks really lazy. Just, just stick a hand out it. Don't push. Just push like that. That's not goalkeeping. He is also young, so he's got plenty to learn. But never mind that. Cameron Andrews with his first goal for Welling, the first goal of the season for him, and he's just smashed it into the top corner. Odesanya just putting one in at the back post, sort of cleared. Dickinson does brilliantly to lay it off to Andrews, who just larrups it into the top corner. We like to see those. We do like to see those. Right, and we've got another chance, and we are piling it on at the moment. I don't know if our XG is really all that good. 1.72 to their 1.47. So we're outplaying our XG at the moment. We are just finding the net for fun. We're not dominating, I don't think, by any stretch, but we are definitely creating the chances. And when we do create them, we take them. That's a lovely ball over the top for Abrahams, and that is his hat trick. Well, what an introduction to the home crowd. What a way to announce yourself to Parkview Road. And it's just lovely direct football. Bird sees the run from Abrahams straight over the top. No touches needed. First time into the top corner. And we are well on our way towards our first win of the season. Now, I'm trying not to get excited because I do look at those stats and think, my God, Hemel Hempstead have had a lot of chances. But you can't argue with the fact we're just scoring goals. It's 6-1 and it doesn't feel, well, I mean, it does. We've scored 6, but it doesn't truly feel like a 6-1 game based on those stats. But this is encouraging stuff. To see us being able to score goals like this and to score so many of them, well, you think maybe we have got something here. Right, time for a change or two. I want to see a bit of James Vaughan, so we're going to get him on for Papadopoulos, who's done, I mean, he's done fine. Nothing to write home about. And Adam Roscoe really isn't doing much for me at the moment, so we're going to bring McAllister on again as target forward. And Abrahams can push forward with an attack duty, and we'll see how we go there. Really, we just want to see out the match, and it's a consolation goal, hopefully, and no more. We are going to start wasting a bit of time, I think. We're going to slow the pace down from the goalkeeper, but okay. We can score goals, it seems. We can't defend. That's the 5th goal we've conceded in 2 matches, but we've course scored 6 in those 2 matches, so we're still positive, just as the ball comes for Abrahams, but he gives it away with a bit of a heavy touch there. And now Hemel Hempstead are on the attack. I nearly forgot who we were playing, and I mean, that's an awful miss. That's a truly awful miss. That should be 6-3. And unfortunately, our defence, despite having so many of them back there, looking pretty porous at the moment. Bird's got a 9.0 rating, but that's because he's got managed to get himself 2 assists and a goal. He's been better going forward than he has been defending, I would suggest. But Andrew's now pushing forward. It's a lovely run here. Lays it off Odesanya, who looks like he's going to strike from range, and it's just wide of the post. Just a few minutes to go. We should see this out for a fairly comfortable 6-2 win. And indeed we do. So we've got our first win of the season. 3 points under our belts. And let's see what that does to the league table. I think we've moved up to 9th place now. That's a much more encouraging start than being down at the bottom, where Hemel Hempstead apparently now occupy. and that's fantastic for us. Um, we still need to make some big changes to the squad. We are still short a striker, I believe. Yeah, McAllister has come on a couple of times, but I mean, really, he's no right to be anywhere near the squad. Certainly not the match day squad. And I still think we need another midfielder in there and potentially another left wing back because Quatchy's just not looking like the signing. Although we haven't played him in any matches yet, so um, perhaps I'm being harsh, but I do think we need to get another player in to compete at that left wing back there. If we show the full squad view, I mean, it does look immediately midfield, centre back, striker. I mean, every part of the field needs something. But there's only so much money left, so we'll see what we're able to do. We have got some offers in for Elliot Jenks, who is an 18-year-old central midfielder who would come in and play, I mean, potentially a starting place, and Ruben Suarez Jr., who has got lots of pace and not a huge amount else about him. He's a very good dribbler. Uh, can potentially play on both wings, but primarily we're signing him to compete up front. And Daniel Ledbitter to add a little bit more steel to the defence. We'll see how we get on with those, but we will come back next time for, I think, some matches in. Uh, who are who are our rivals? I know Dartford are our rivals, and that's about it. And in fact, let me just tell you, we did attempt to sign a player who unfortunately went to Dartford instead. So just building on that rivalry. It was Norton here, a striker who looked like he might be able to do a job. Bags and bags of pace, which is always a lovely thing to have up front. But sadly, he went to Dartford instead. So it just adds a little bit more bitterness to that rivalry for me. But anyway, we will come back to this. Let's come back for Tonbridge Angels, shall we? So a Kent-based side, not that close to Welling, but we'll call it a local-ish derby. So we'll come back to the Tonbridge Angels game and St Albans, and then we'll probably jump forward in the season a bit. And hopefully, by the time I return, I'll have some signings to report. Well, thank you very much for joining us, everyone. If you've enjoyed that, please do leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you in part 3. Good night.